So it's 48-36, a 12-point lead for the Cougars. Beloit with the ball. Nice block by Aubrey Lewis-Byers on a shot by Rutherford. And the Cougars end up with the ball on the block shot with the fourth quarter here, where Beloit is going to have a lot of things come together. Their outside shooting coming together late in the third, and they need to maintain possession and prevent turnovers, maybe get a few like they almost just did, but there's a whistle. Rutherford with his third foul, and there's 16 fouls for Beloit Memorial and 4 for the Craig Cougars. So we'll see some bonus time here in the fourth.
And Beloit needs to come out and get a couple stops here. Doubling down on Aubrey Lewis, and comes up with a turnover.
And the turnover pays off. No, it doesn't, as Mel just couldn't make the shot. Barberry coming a little too quick. He heard footsteps behind him as the Craig Cougar defenders were on his tail, and the shot missed.
Well, I think he needed that pass one step earlier, and he would have been all right. He was kind of coming in with his feet to come in with his left hand, and he wasn't really quite set for the pass when it came.
Yeah, he was moving pretty rapidly, as they would say.
But, you know, Craig kind of getting back to their full strength, getting 3 of their top 10 ball players back off of suspensions, school suspensions. Against Custer, they kind of were just getting back to the flow, and tonight they really got it all going for them, and they're going to need it. Facing Beloit tonight, and then they face Middleton on Tuesday. They could theoretically be in first place all alone after Tuesday night if they could come away with a win tonight and Tuesday against Middleton.
And Beloit meets Middleton on Thursday as Aubrey Lewis-Byers powers one up over Darius Jones. Outside shot off the rim, but a rebound and a shot doesn't go, but bounce back does for Mel Barberry as Darius Jones couldn't make the shot.
And the refs really letting them play right now, getting really physical under the boards.
Beloit playing pretty even here in this half, have maintained a 12-point deficit. And I say maintained because they were down by 12 at the half. They outscored Craig by 2 in the third quarter.
And by outscoring Craig by 2 in the third quarter, 12 of their points in that third quarter came off of Craig turnovers. And they're still down. Craig is still up by 12 points, which they were at halftime.
And tonight's game brought to you in part by O'Leary Dental Office. Kevin and all the staff are proud to sponsor high school sports. Call O'Leary Dental at 758-2004 for complete dental care for children and adults with evening appointments available. A member of the American Dental Association, O'Leary Dental is located at 2004 West Court Street, right on the corner of Arch and Court in Janesville, or call Kevin today at 758-2004 for complete family dental care.
And Patrick coming back in with just over 6 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Beloit really needs to come out, and their defense has been there all night. They're doing a fine job. Craig's going to score their buckets. Aubrey's going to do his thing, and the rest of Craig, they're going to get their points. But they're playing fine defense. It's been there all night, but they need to start knocking down some shots and maybe taking the ball to the basket a little bit more, and causing some fouls by Craig, because they need to start getting some fouls on Craig to stop the clock, because there's only 4 fouls on Craig, and that they have 2 fouls to give yet.
Shot doesn't go from the foul line for Luke Kuehne, number 44, and as Joe said, Beloit's got to pick it up here. 6 minutes left in the game. They've maintained, but now it's time to bring it on home.
And the first thing they do is turn the ball over on their first possession when they come out of their timeout.
Craig playing patient now, not in a hurry, up by a big bunch here, but driving to the lane. Shot doesn't go, but there's a whistle, a shot by Brent Jerome. Starting center for the Craig Cougars, 6'4" senior. And the foul is going to be on number 25, his 5th foul. So that will put Josh Foster starting forward for the Beloit Memorial Purple Knights out of the game. And they're going to bring Darius Jones back in to replace him.
And that is a big loss because he does a lot of good things against that Craig press. And his ball handling and his rebounding ability offensively is really going to hurt Beloit with just under 6 minutes to go in this 4th quarter.
6'4" senior Brent Jerome at the line, doesn't go, he gets 2. And that was a result of a foul by Foster out of the game for the Purple Knights. We're down to 5 minutes and 44 seconds left.
Craig in that 1-3-1 zone again. Aubrey down below.
Long shot doesn't go. That was shot by number 12, Hanif Majid. Beloit gets the ball back. That was Jones inside, probably drew the foul there. He made a good move right in front of us here.
Majid with a fine play off of his air ball from the 3-point line of coming up with that steal. Otherwise, Craig had a 2-on-0 and an easy 2 points off of a bad turnover or a bad shot, whatever you decide on that one.
4th foul on Brent Jerome of the Craig Cougars. Beloit with the ball, shot up, doesn't go, rebound to Beloit, get it into Mel Barberry. He can do the job. Good play by Dwan McAllister to get the ball to Barberry and complete the play for 2. 51-40, an 11-point lead by the Cougars at the 5-minute mark of the 4th quarter.
Beloit really extending their defense right now. Still in that 2-3, but extending it a little bit.
Craig being very patient on offense here in this quarter, nursing an 11-point lead.
Craig in their 4 corners right now, maybe just trying to use a little time up.
And Beloit really pressuring them, coming out to half court with the pressure. Sanders gets it back over to number 34. That's Chris Romstad. He was in earlier. He's a 6'2" senior. And ultimately, we have a whistle. And Barberry commits his very first foul, and he's played the whole game. Good discipline by Mel Barberry. And he's been their big shooter. They do need him.
That will tell you how good of a rebounder and player he is when he doesn't have any fouls with 4:21 left in the 4th quarter.
And he's been playing hard.
And there's no doubt that he has been there the whole game, playing very hard and giving it his all. Free throw is going to play a big role for Craig down the stretch here. They're going to be shooting 2 the rest of the way every time Beloit fouls. So if they can put down their free throws, because Beloit is going to have to foul some.
Not only that, but if Janesville fouls Beloit, they've got a couple before anything happens. 5 team fouls on the Craig Cougars, 10 on Beloit. From the top of the key, it doesn't go. Barberry gets the rebound, sends it outside. Nice block by Aubrey Lewis-Byers and turns the ball right over to Saunders, who takes it in for 2. Now they're going to call him with a charge. No, they're going to call Rutherford with a foul. I thought they had signaled another charge.
And that's their Beloit starting point guard with 4 fouls. And with just under 4 minutes to go and down by 15 points, possible 16 here. Beloit really has had a tough time knocking down shots tonight. Not getting shots, but just knocking them down. They've been getting the looks, and their defense has been there all night.
5'10" junior guard Dan Saunders doesn't make it from the free throw line, but Craig gets possession.
And back into that four corners. Gonna use a little clock. Beloit got to recognize and come out and match up.
Craig Cougars outside and just keeping it outside. 3:22 left in the game. Oh, nice takeaway there and a nice move. Count it. That was Hanif Majid with a great play, taking the ball right out of Sanders' hands, actually taking over the dribble on him. But back come the Cougars, setting up on offense. Back out to Sanders. Majid covering him well. Playing a little game of quickness out there. So he passes it over to Aubrey Lewis-Byers, moving way outside. Player coming across the lane. The Craig Cougars in no hurry to shoot next to a four corner. And the Craig Cougars just really wasting their time, and they have the time to waste. They're up by 13 points.
And I really sense that Beloit knows that if they foul, Craig is going to knock down their two free throws. And
yeah, as you mentioned earlier, the hallmark of a Bob Suter team is their ability to make free throws. Oh, maybe he should have coached Shaquille O'Neal in his earlier days. And a 20-second timeout for the Purple Knights. It's 2 minutes and 21 seconds left in the game. And it's 55 for the Cougars and 42 for the Knights.
Well, they need to come down and hit some open shots, get some easy buckets, press, and if they don't come up with a turnover right away, they need to foul as soon as the opportunity comes up.
Well, you saw the huddle of the Purple Knights there on the screen momentarily, and in the background, Purple Knights coach Bob Cerniglia has a good program going here. Even though they're down by 13, when you look at how this game is unfolded and the missed shots that they've had and the turnovers, it could be a lot worse. So they've really hung in there under adverse conditions.
And a very tough place to play at Craig. A very tough place for anybody to come in here and play at Craig. So theoretically, Beloit playing very tough here at Craig. And again, we said that Beloit's going to have Craig at Beloit later on in the year. So if they both play Middleton later this week, and that could decide who is the class of the Big Eight this year, because Middleton 4-0 and both of these teams coming in here 4-0 tonight. So theoretically this week, by the end of this week, we will know the class of the Big Eight.
And what's going to happen to Madison West down the road, because they're at 1 victory and 3 losses.
And just getting back Reese Gaines from an ankle injury, and so they're going to get nothing but tougher. West with Reese Gaines scoring, I think the state WIA at state last year, that game high, and he's a scorer, he's a slasher, and he's probably the best, maybe one of the top 5 players in the state, maybe the best point guard in the state of Wisconsin. So Craig and West and Middleton and Beloit are all right there, and but right now Craig, again, they're a very good free throw shooting team.
And they're the favorites. And by the way, here, number 52 at the line is Casey Murray. He was fouled by the other 52 on the Knights, Darius Jones, his 5th foul. They really couldn't afford to lose Darius, but he's out of the game with 5 fouls. So the Purple Knights not going to have their big man in the middle the rest of the way out, and that opens it up for a rebound by Aubrey Lewis-Byers on a shot that didn't go. Saunders handling the ball as usual for the Craig Cougars. And we're down to 1 minute and 50 seconds left in this game, and a big lead now for the Cougars. They are up by 15, which equals their biggest lead way back in the first half.
And again, we were talking earlier, Beloit's going to have Craig down there. They just could not knock down those shots earlier in the game, and in the second half, they just couldn't knock down them shots. Again, Barberry had a clear lane to the basket and just couldn't come up with a layup. I think he was fouled. The foul was probably missed by the referee there, but you got to knock them down when they count.
Luke Kuehne makes both his free throws from the line. And we're down to 1 minute 42 seconds left in the game, and the biggest lead for the Cougars at 17. Now the JV game, right before this one, came down to a free throw with nothing. Well, I think there was 0.4 of a second or something weird on the clock.
Very competitive game between Beloit and Craig earlier today. The sophomore game, it did come down to free throws, and as we said, Craig hitting their free throws tonight here for the most part.
Trapping a Beloit player in the corner, but he bounces out of it. That was Mike McKinley, trapped by a very fine defensive effort by the Craig Cougars, as we're coming down to the 1 minute mark of the game.
And again, I touched on this earlier. Craig just getting back to full strength, getting 3 of their ball players back, and you know, their rotation and knowing each other on the court is very important for our team chemistry, and they're just starting to get that. And being that if they continue with 60-42, if they can win this game tonight, they'll be 5-0 in the Big 8. With those 3 ball players, they're going to be even stronger as the season progresses, because they're going to get that team chemistry and that rotation down. And Beloit, I touched on this earlier, they're a very young team, and they're going to get nothing but better. So
Barberry long as the Cougars scored on a free throw, and the Cougars get the rebound with under 1 minute left. It's a 61-42 ball game now, as the Cougars here in the last minute or so have just opened it up, and the Beloit Memorial Purple Knights just trying to hang in there. It's going to be bonus territory both sides now with the next foul. But this one was on number 14 for the Knights, Dan Cruz. His first, sending Dan Saunders to the line. And Dan can put the Cougars up by an even 20 points.
And the finishing touches on, and I think it's just academic now, and Bob Suter making some well-deserved substitutions to get Saunders and Aubrey and Brent Jerome and the whole crew, you know, the whole starting crew, and every ball player that had a part in tonight's win. A good ovation from the fans and the parents.
And we have a lot of fans here, as usual. Craig Gym is packed for a Craig Cougars game. It's been that way for a lot of years. As Saunders goes out of the game now, seeking his free throw. And we'll see who Craig has in there. Some players you don't see too often. Chris Eckerman is in there, number 30. Brad Orritt back in there. Number 40 is in there. Steve Jennings. Number 42 is Eric Dougal. And they've also got Ross Clawitter, a 5'10 junior. If that name rings a bell, that indeed is who it is. The son of the Janesville Parker girls coach. Makes his appearance here at Craig High School on the varsity team.
And Dewani McAllister going to the free throw line, one of them sophomores. Very, very talented. Going to get better and better. He just couldn't finish that. He'll shoot 2 free throws, and just one of those deals where if that's one of those plays where, you know, them sophomores by the end of the year will be juniors theoretically as basketball players, and he'll finish that play, and he'll have to learn how to power that basketball up there and finish that off and go to the free throw line for 3 instead of instead of having to shoot 2 free throws.
Right. 31 seconds left, and it's become a blowout now, but just in the last few minutes, fans heading for the exits, as the cliche goes. Mostly students, adult crowd staying right here to the end, as are the Beloit fans. But the Janesville Craig Cougar student section clearing out. Hot day tonight. Shot doesn't go there for the Purple Knights. Mike McKinley, as we're winding down to the last 10 seconds. It's 65-44. Seems lopsided right now when you keep in mind that it was a 12, 13 point, 14 point game up until about 5 minutes ago.
But Beloit just forced to come down and if they have an open shot, take that open shot and try to get some quick points. And in basketball, you just can't do that. You got to look for the good shot for each individual at a certain point. And Beloit being down by 15, 16 points with just over 4 minutes left, you got to go for the point and the shot that's given to you, and it's gotten out of hand. So the score really doesn't show the true picture of tonight's ball game, but a very good contested ball game tonight, and I'm sure that Craig looking forward to Tuesday.
Well, Merrill Barberry making the last 2 points of the game. I think he made the first 2 of the game, and that is how it wraps up, a 20-point win for the Janesville Craig Cougar. The final score, the Janesville Craig Cougars 66 and the Beloit Memorial Purple Knights